Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
There are still a lot of questions surrounding Monday's officer-involved shooting in Sioux Falls. We know that shots were fired and no one was hit, but at this time the police chief is unable to comment on whether the suspect fired at officers.
However, 2 people were arrested. Mario Rodriguez was wanted for a parole violation and drug charges. Police say Elijah Wright had meth in the car. The DCI will decide whether the men face additional charges.
Crime is not uncommon in the area of 6th Street and Cleveland Avenue, and often the incidents take place near this corner gas station.
However, the owner says several of them start elsewhere in the city and just end near his store. He still believes the area is a safe place to be.
The biggest key is my employees aren't afraid to be there and my customers aren't afraid to be there. And, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm being complacent about it. I am very proactive about it because safety and customers and employees are still the most important thing.
Revlos has more than 30 surveillance cameras on his property that often help police with their investigations.
Meanwhile, authorities with the Oglala Sioux tribe are searching for a missing baby. Investigators say 1-year-old Leland Thunder was last seen on July 4th while visiting his non-custodial mother, Haley Shea Lakota of Rapid City. Since then, neither baby nor mother has been seen.
Family members say Leland was last wearing a white onesie and gray sweatpants. Rapid City police are helping in the search. If you know where they are, you're asked to call police.
And a traffic stop led to a drug bust in Brown County over the weekend. Aberdeen police says it happened Sunday evening.
During the traffic stop, Aberdeen Police Department service dog Nico was deployed on the car. A search found around a pound of meth worth well over $10,000.
Now let's send it over to meteorologist Scott Munn for a check of our morning forecast. The hot weather continues, Scott.
Oh, that it will. Once we hit the 90s, either today or tomorrow, we'll probably stay there for, I would say, at least a week and a half, even longer, as looks like our July heat will be in full force over the next several days. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s right now. And the winds are light, and they'll stay light throughout the day. Dew point temperatures, I'd say fairly dry, 50s to near 60 degrees, but those will go up over the next couple of days. Forecast for today showing plenty of sunshine, highs in the 80s and 90s. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. For the first time in 2 decades, the value of the dollar and the euro are equal. The euro's value has dropped about 12% since the start of the year, finally hitting equal to the U.S. dollar.
It's welcome news for the millions of Americans traveling to Europe this summer who historically have had to pay more for everything on their trip.
With the euro matching up with the value of a dollar, you're going to get some savings. You're going to feel that impact while you're in Europe. As far as flights, hotels, because the demand is so high and the workforce is so low, your prices are high regardless of what's happening with the exchange rate.
Learn why local travel agents don't expect this now even exchange rate to spark a big surge in European travel with this story right now on KELOLAND.com. A big parking ramp with a giant gray blank side has a prominent place in downtown Sioux Falls on East 10th Street.
Erica Beck, Chief of Staff to Sioux Falls Mayor Paul Tenhaken, says the aim is to zero in on an October or November announcement that they'll be seeking interest in development at this spot. A mural is planned too, but only to be temporary.
As I understand it, there'd be a call to engage the local artists, and then really what Sioux Falls Arts Council would do is they would select those that are qualified to do the work, and then they would ask for their ideas and ultimately find a way to kind of stitch them all together. And so, yeah, that's really why we want to partner with them and have a good themed mural.
You can find more stories on this topic from KELOLAND's Tom Hansen and digital reporter Jasmine Jackson right here on KELOLAND.com. You Pick events are returning to One Elk Point Flower Farm.
Christy Heckathorn started Flourish Flower Farm last year to share her passion of flowers. Starting on Sunday, You Pick events will be returning to the farm, giving customers the opportunity to pick and arrange their own flowers.
The best part of it for me is being able to have the people come and just pick and experience it. And I can go out there and hang out with them and pick flowers, and I also like to take pictures, so I'm always taking pictures of the flowers.
The farm has over 60 varieties of flowers, giving visitors endless arrangement opportunities. The U.S. Commerce Department is awarding $1 million to improve and develop the Lake Mitchell Marina and surrounding trail system.
This project will support outdoor recreation and boost the local tourism industry. It is also expected to create 20 jobs in Mitchell. The grant will be matched with more than $900,000 in local funds.
That's not the only waterway in South Dakota that will soon see some changes. Sioux Falls is hosting a public workshop for the Falls Park Master Plan this evening. You can attend 2 meetings at the City Center, the first at 4 p.m., the second at 6.
The workshop will include an overview of the planning process as well as several exercises to see what people think of the plans. You can also check out an interactive map on the city's website to provide your own ideas. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather here as we head through the next 36 hours. Couple of things tomorrow. Thunderstorm chances out there, and with that, we can't rule out a couple of severe thunderstorms, but I think for the most part, we're still dealing with just these marginal risk areas. But certainly, if we can entertain even a couple of thunderstorms, that'll get us something to watch. Today, dry weather, though. Highs mid to upper 80s for Sioux Falls, and I would expect those 90s showing up in parts of the central areas of South Dakota. The hourly numbers overnight are definitely warmer, and with the wind change out of the south or southeast, we are expecting the overnight lows to, lead us into a warmer day tomorrow. We've got 90-degree weather, pretty common. I would expect the chance of some scattered rain popping up in the north central late afternoon. We'll see if any of these thunderstorms can coalesce into a couple of segments here and there tomorrow night. I think it's probably at best, probably in this 30% range for getting a thunderstorm. And that's the way it's looking. Maybe even a couple of these in the far southwest here tomorrow night. There are your highs today. 90 Mitchell, 93 in Winter, 89 Rapid City. 7-day forecast. 90s are the rule the next several days. And you see overnight lows in the upper 60s to lower 70s. But it looks like right now that Saturday chance also popping up in the forecast. Aberdeen in the northeast looking at upper 80s and low 90s there. I expect overnight lows in the middle to upper 60s. So again, a lot of the temperatures are above average. So if you can catch a thunderstorm, it's a good thing because obviously we're using moisture a lot higher this time of year. We kind of bank that up during the earlier part of the year, and then the roots on these crops and your vegetable gardens, they all use that up. Well, Pier 2, another hot start to next week. Look at Monday, already at 102. We're going to have to keep an eye on those 100s and see how expansive that is. We may be adding Rapid City to that list by Monday. Check out more details with the weather online at KELOLAND.com.